Hi, this is Pilates, and today we're doing a foundational level flow. Let's get started. Let's start with a roll down. You're gonna inhale up and exhale, roll all the way down. Once you're down, stay down. Take another big inhale here, and then exhale, slowly stack your spine, starting with your glutes, core, come up to vertical. Inhale up, exhale, roll down. Inhale, step the bottom, and exhale, slowly roll up. One. Inhale up, exhale, roll down, inhale, stay, and then exhale, slowly. Let's go ahead and come down to a seated position. Then find ourselves on our side, our bottom arm is underneath. Take our top off to cover. Inhale up, exhale, rotate back, inhale, stay, and exhale, rotate all the way back to the hover. As I inhale up and rotate back, I want to make sure just my spine is rotated and that my pelvis and hips stay. And then exhale, rotate all the way back. Here's your first one. Inhale up, exhale, rotate, inhale, stay, and exhale. Let's go and take it to the other side. Two, to the ceiling, rotate back, stay on the inhale, back to the hover, last one, inhale, exhale, rotate, inhale, stay, and exhale, back to the hover. Perfect. Let's roll into our back for some hip rolls. My hands are firmly planted, my feet are within reaching distance. I'm going to inhale, prepare, and then exhale, start with your pelvis as it rolls back, and peel your back off of the mat, lifting to a bridge. Inhale, stay here, and then exhale, slowly roll down, starting with your upper back, and then your mid back. Your tailbone touches last. Let's go again. You should feel like you're unwinding out of that pelvic tilt once you reach the bottom. And here's our last time. Alright, let's begin with our exercises. Starting with our ab prep. You can have your hands behind your head for some neck support, or you can keep your hands down by your side. Inhale, do a slight head nod. Then exhale, flex up. Inhale, look at your knees, and exhale, lower down. We're going to want to hold this flexion from your core at the top before you exhale, roll down. Here's your last four. Controlling that way down. Here's your last two. Let's go ahead and do just one more here. And just hold at the top. And then now you just simply pulse towards your knees. Last four, two, and one. Good. Fall into your tummy. I'm going to have my arms and hands reaching along by my side. My hips, or my legs about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider. My feet are laterally rotated out and pointed. My face is at a hover. I'm going to inhale, bring my shoulders up, squeezing my scapula, lifting my arms to a hover. Exhale, lift that chest. Inhale, stay, and exhale, lower all the way back down, relaxing those shoulders. Inhale, retracts. Exhale, flex up. Inhale, stay, and exhale, back down. Here's your last two. Exhale and push yourself back into a shelf stretch, or some people call it child's pose. But make sure you round your back and not arch it. We want to round our back to stretch the muscles here. Roll into your breath once again. Let's go for the 100. You can keep your legs down, you can keep your head down and only pump your arms. I'm going to bring your legs to a tabletop. Inhale, head on. Exhale, flex up. Start pumping your arms. The breath pattern is inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's keep doing from here. We're halfway there. Keep your eyes on your knees. You can also extend those legs. Here's your last one. And bring those in, lower all the way down. We're going to come up to a seated position for our half roll back. We're going to exhale, roll that back, come into a C curve with your spine, and inhale, roll that forward. Exhale, roll that back. Keep the tension of your neck and shoulders. Here's your next 4. Last 2. And here's your last 1. Perfect. Let's go ahead and lay it all the way down. Let one leg extend out, or bring your left to a tabletop. Feel free to extend that all the way to the ceiling, or keep that leg bent, depending on how you feel your hips. Let's make circles on the ceiling with our knee or your foot. We're going to go 3 circles in each direction. Inhale halfway to that circle, exhale to finish. Let's go ahead and reverse. Inhale halfway, exhale to finish. Here's my last 2. And here's my last 1. Set that down and bring the other leg to tabletop. You're going to choose how big you want this circle. You can do the size of the top, or you can make the size of the door. And then first, you want to focus on keeping that pelvis nice and stable. You can always feel in this area to make sure you're not feeling you rocking side to side. We can go ahead and lower all the way down. Perfect. For this next one, we're going to be doing a single leg stretch. You can keep your head down, or you can use your hands to support your head, or your hands can be even on your legs. Like this. Then I'm extending the other leg out. Inhale that back in, and switch, and switch, and switch. Your hands can be here. Your hands can be here. We're going to keep this flexion just like you did in the half rep. Keep that neck and shoulders relaxed. Here's your last 4. And 1. Bring back the tabletop. I will hold my hands behind my head. As you change this to obliques, extending one leg out, rotating my torso toward the bent knee. Inhale, come center. Exhale, rotate that other way. Inhale, come center. You want to feel like that rib is coming towards the opposite side and not the elbow and not the shoulder. Here's your last 4. here's your last one. Perfect. Let's take this to the double leg stretch. Holding that same position, I'm going to inhale my arms out, and then exhale, circle those around. Inhale out, exhale, circle that around. Keeping my eyes on the knees, still maintaining this flexion. You can always take breaks as needed, and just keeping the flow going. Here's your last 4. 2. And here's your last one. Perfect. I'm going to lower all the way down. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit closer. Now for the shoulder bridge. Instead of articulating up, I'm going to hinge up in one long line. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, lift your bridge. And then inhale, lower down. You want to make sure that you're leading with your pelvis and not your rib cage. You don't want this arch. You want a nice long line. Make sure that your glutes are doing their work. Not just those hamstrings. Now if I were to put a teacup on top of that pelvis, it wouldn't be rocking side to side. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can always bring your arms up toward that ceiling for less stability. Here's your last 4. 2. This last one, I'm going to stay at the top. I'm going to lift that left heel. Inhale that back down. Exhale, lift the right heel up. Inhale that back down. And keep switching back and forth. Make sure that you slowly send that back down, and you're not quickly jamming that into the ground. Once again, maintaining this nice long line. Keep focusing on that breath. Here's your last 4. And here's your last 2. And here's your last one. Let's go ahead and lower all the way down. This next one is going to be the rollover prep. Bring my legs once again to tabletop. You want to either have a neutral spine or imprinted where that pelvis is tilted back towards you and you have slight lumbar flexion in that lower back. I'm crossing my ankles and pressing my hands in that. I'm going to exhale, roll that up, and inhale, slowly roll that down. Really control that way down, as you don't want to just use momentum to get up, and you really want to focus on the strength and control as you come down. Here's your last 4. And last 2. And here's your last one. Perfect. All right, let's roll on to our tummy. This is going to be that heel squeeze prone. So I'm going to let my head rest onto my hands. My legs are going to come as wide as the mat. I'm going to bend my knees, bring my heels together. Exhale, we'll lift those legs up. Inhale to lower down. I want you to try to lift up the legs, but also think of rotating those thighs outward as you lift. Here's your last 4. This last one, let's hold it up. And then try to do small pulses toward the ceiling. Really pressing your pelvis into the mat. We don't want to go into that low back. Keep your core engaged. For 4, 2, And last one. Press yourself into another child's pose or shell stretch. Perfect. We'll become seated once again for our neck pull prep. So my feet are firmly planted. My hands are once again on my forehead. We don't actually want to pull our neck for this. All right. So I'm going to exhale, roll that back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, round that forward, keeping that C curve. And inhale, stop the spine. You want to feel like your pelvis is leading this motion, creating the C curve here, and maintaining that as you roll forward. And then you stack your spine, coming back to vertical pelvis, neutral spine. Relax the neck and shoulders. Here's your last 4. Last 2. There's the last one. Let's change this to an oblique roll back. Still in the same seated position. My arms come in front of me. I'm going to exhale, rotate, and roll back at the same time here. And inhale, bring that forward. Exhale, roll back and rotate. Inhale, bring that forward. Follow your gaze, watching your hands. Here's your last 4. Last 2. And here's that last. All right, there's our last one. Let's go ahead and roll all the way down once again, and then roll onto your side. I'm putting my bottom hand under my head for support, and then I have this nice long line from head to toe. I have my obliques on, my core is engaged. I'm going to set this other top hand in front of me for a little bit extra support. Inhale that top leg up. Exhale, flex that down. We're here for 6. You're going to point as you lift, flex as you lower down. Here's your last 3. In 2. And here's your last one. On this last one, we're halfway down, and we're going to circle here. So inhale halfway through that circle, exhale to finish. Once you've done 3 in one direction, let's go ahead and reverse. Really keeping that stability here throughout the pelvis, as this is just a hip movement only. And here's my last one. I'm going to set that all the way back down. I'm going to extend my other arm out along ahead of me here, and then my palm places into the ground. Inhale, prepare, and exhale, lift your head and legs. You want to think of reaching away with the crown of your head and with the point of your feet. Inhale, lower down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower down. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you take that top arm away. Ooh, there goes my balance. And inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. Here's your last 3. And there's my last one. Perfect. Let's take this to the other side. We're going to start with that top leg pointing up and flexing down. Here we go. Core is engaged. My glutes are on. Inhale to lift. exhale, flex down. Last 3, 2, this last one. Let's come halfway down and start circling. In reverse. And then once you're done there, go ahead and lower that all the way down. Stretch out that hand, place that palm into the ground. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Here's your last 3. You want to feel like your feet and your head are reaching away from each other. And here's your last one. Perfect. Go ahead and lower all the way down. I'm going to come up to a seated position, still facing sideways. So I'm going to bend my bottom leg toward me. I'm going to bring that knee up toward that ceiling. And so my top leg is in front of that bottom foot. Slide my hand toward me. Keep it in line with more of my hip here. And that top arm comes on front, palm facing up. This knee is going to stay on the ground. As I exhale, lift, press my hips forward, reaching overhead, and inhale back down. This is a side bend. We're really going for that lateral flexion here. Here's my last one on this side. And then lower that back down. Let's take it to the other side. Perfect, and lower all the way back down. Now let's just come, you can sit however feels comfortable to you. Let's just do a little bit of stretching just to finish up for our cool down. I'll just take my right arm, I'm gonna reach that all the way over to the side, opening up that right side. Take that back, and now let's take it, reaching to the right, and bring that back one more time each side here. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And congratulations, you are all done for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you so much.